Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Behind the Behemoth. My name is Jarrett, otherwise known as Creature Tech over on Discord and Reddit. And today we are going to be looking at the creation of Frost Escalation in Urska. So without further ado, let's pop on some sweaters and let's get into it.
We had some really interesting ideas. We wanted it to start out as like this kind of snow spider, kind of scorpion. There's real like amalgamation of different pieces of animals and monsters and combining it into something that's like kind of a real horror show. And we might have taken that just a little bit too far. So we pivoted into a more mammalian design using a large cat. I used a saber-toothed tiger. People can look at, recognize it immediately and say, oh, I get it. We designed these ice antlers to almost feel like a crown on him. We wanted the air to be regal and powerful, aggressive. We wanted this one to really feel like he owned the space that he was in.
So the process from going from concept to animation, there's a lot of back and forth. The concept may not be completed just yet, but we're still working on the general ideas. Some of it might be throwaway, but we're learning a lot out of it. So one of the key decisions was we wanted Urska to be more of a feline. With that, physically, the way that Urska is designed, the hips are a lot higher, and even with the chest. So the balance of the entire body is more centered. And with that, there's a strong agility feel, but not compromising the weight because Urska's big. There were some technical challenges too, where some of the attacks are going off screen, standing on a pillar right before it crashes on the ground. That was quite tricky, but I think it worked out great because it allowed a real feeling of environment is involved. The arena is part of the whole encounter, and so we wanted to kind of show that through the animation.
We had a set of really great concepts that kind of created this theme of bright but still same time cold environment with the clean surfaces, clean overall look, which would communicate this frozen cold area, frozen cold island. We looked up lots of pictures of the Antarctica, of the frozen areas, of those huge glaciers are definitely were a big inspiration for us. And at some point during the development, we just came up with the idea that, hey, why won't we just build a village around the arena? I tried to communicate this idea of frost wardens build this area to protect themselves from the behemoths.
I think that Deep Frost Embermane was the biggest challenge of the three variants. It was really unique, and there was a lot of effort to give it its own character, because when we were coming up with it, the idea of like an Arctic wolf in like a winter environment was so iconic, and it was such like a good like rallying sort of experience that people were excited about. And I think the biggest lesson for me as a behemoth designer especially was understanding how we can do more with our mechanics in Dauntless. Like figuring out ways to take things that players really like and remixing those in ways that they haven't thought of before.
Our visual effects artists worked on those really cool icicle pillars. It's about the spirits or the magic behind of it. When they exploded, those spirits kind of like relief from them. So then that's kind of triggered me to find this really cool sound. We tried the dry ice recording. It creates this really unique sizzling sound and then high-pitched screeches. It gives you a lot of options that you can pull from.
So I think overall we learned one, no matter how hard we think we're building content, our players will always overcome it and find ways to defeat it and humble us all anew. And so it really helped me kind of figure out what challenge content looks like in our game. When I first drafted up the design for Frost Escalation, Frostbite was the first thing at the top of that design, front and center. Everything else that was designed in the season flowed around it. The avatars in particular, we found that people really liked making micro choice. Macro is your overarching build, and then the micro choices are the amps you pick throughout a run. That resonated really hard with players, and it's something that we're doubling down on for our next season of content.
And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this behind-the-scenes look at Urska and Frost Escalation. And if you want more Dauntless news, I highly recommend you follow us on social media. You can find that below in the description. And hop over to Discord and Reddit, and you can find me and other developers chatting and talking with you, the players. And until next time, clear skies and happy hunting.